G'day, cunts! Welcome to episode number 21, I think. I don't know, I can't really be fucked to go check on what actual episode it is. I think it's 21. I think I'm pretty confident saying there's 21. Of the Greencast, a podcast by me, Mr. Greentext, where I ramble to myself in my bedroom like a madman. You know the fucking... Yeah, I yell in my own bedroom to myself. Yeah, you get the fucking joke at this fucking point, but, you know, I'm still gonna say it for all those new people that listen to this shit for some fucking reason. Oh, man. I went to just go record the podcast, right? And I use Audacity for all my, like, voice recording stuff because, of course, it's, you know, it's easy and it's free. And I opened up the fucking program, and there was already an Audacity, like, open recording. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? I open it up, and it says it's been recording for almost 10 hours, and I'm like, what the fuck? What is this? So I stop, and I'm like looking through everything, and I'm like, what the fuck? What? What? I was so fucking confused as to why there was like a recording fucking going already. Cause like, I'm recording this in like the afternoon, and usually I record them in like in the first thing in the morning, but I had some prop stuff that I had to go ship out today, and the post office closes at like midday, on the weekends here. So I had to do that first, before I do anything else. And, I thought, like, I might have just, like, oh, hit record and forgot about it. Because I was about to, like, sit down and record, and I'm like, I don't want to risk it. So I'm like, oh, is that what I did? But I'm like, wait a minute, no, it says it's been recording for 9 hours and 46 minutes. What the fuck? So I scrolled back through, and it was from a green text that I recorded last night, where... It was one of those green texts where it ends in, like, song lyrics, and I used to just fucking sing them, because I didn't realize they were, like, memes, or just, like, it was a song. But now if I don't know them, or if it just, like, has them, or it sounds like song lyrics, I'll just Google the song lyrics, and see if a song comes up, and, it did. Apparently it was, like, a song by The Weeknd, and then it had a really dope music video to go with it. That was directed by the same person that made the Hardcore Henry film, which is that one film that's all in first person. And it was really fucking cool. And then I went down a hole, and I guess I just forgot that I was still recording, and so I just left it, and I turned my computer, put it to sleep, turned it back on, and I guess it was still recording the entire day. So I just had my fucking microphone recording me for fucking 9 hours, cunt. I'm a retard. What the fuck? So that was that fucking thing that happened. So what have I been up to this fucking week? Man, it's been relaxed, and it's been fucking busy. I'll fucking tell you that. Start of the week, I was mostly just chilling out. I've been playing, Shadow of War, because that fucking shit's finally downloaded. Oh. I think it was last week's podcast where I mentioned, like, how I just got fucked in the ass by buying a physical copy for a game, and then actually not getting a physical copy that was just a code in a fucking empty game case, and then the game was 91 gigabytes. Finally downloaded. It took 6 days to download this fucking game, because I had no option to, like, not get the 4K pack, which apparently was the reason why it added on, like, 30 extra gig. Couldn't fucking do that, apparently, so, yeah, it took 6 days, been playing that. And, apart from that, I've been really doing a shit ton of, like, prop stuff. I finished a commission, last week, so that was pretty cool. I made an Alien's Pulse Rifle for someone. People that are on my Discord server, already know that I did that. There's some pictures on there if you really want to see it. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a 1-to-1 scale, and I charged the dude like $460, so I actually probably got paid what it's worth, and like worth my time at this point, which is nice. Which is like a whole thing, which has also been like my week, is like, I'm trying to more so suss out projects that get offered to me and such, and find out if they are worth my time, and just the ability to say no is also something I've been trying to, like, you know, just deal with, I guess. Because I also had, like, a bit of a falling out with another project where someone messaged me over Facebook saying, hey, could you 3D print this a model of this car, and I'm like, well, I mean, I can't 3D model shit because you know, if I were, it'd be garbage. So go pay someone else to model it, and then come back to me. And so they're like, oh, I want to spend $300 to print it. And I'm like, well, you probably have to spend at least half of that getting it 3D modeled. So they did that, and they came back to me. And, like, it was just so much more of a hassle than I thought it was, and just so much more outside of my own skill set than when I originally said yes. Basically, my 3D printing software, when I put the car in, there was things that I didn't even really take into account, like really small details, like the grille, and even, like, text and badges on the car that I just wouldn't be able to print because they were too small, even at, like, model car scale. Basically, I have an FDM 3D printer, which is the standard sort of 3D printer. When I say 3D printer, that's what people think. It's the spool of plastic that feeds into the nozzle, which heats it up, and servos motors move around the nozzle head and just prints it up in layers like that. If you want better quality, you probably want to do SLA or SLS 3D printing, which is resin-based laser printing, where instead of just printing it up in layers, it does the same thing, except it does it upside down and in a vat of resin. And basically, it shoots, I think it's ultraviolet, ultraviolet laser shoots in the layers, and just, you know, it's just a lot more higher quality, but a lot more expensive. And then, yeah, I just kept, like, trying to figure out how to fucking print this on my FDM printer, and that just wasn't gonna fucking work. And it was, like, it was a person that, you know, has a standard job, and I just it wouldn't be worth my time. It wouldn't be worth the fuck around, and, you know, all of the time that I'd have to spend to try and get it perfect to actually look like, you know, an actual model car. And in the end, probably, like, you know, after you already spent, like, the 3D model and stuff, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do this. It's not worth my time. And then they got really shitty at me and stuff. And, you know, calling me fucking names. No, fuck you, I've already spent all this money, fucking wasting my time. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize how much, like, effort it would be. I didn't realize it'd be so outside my skill set at the moment, dude. And yeah, it really shits me when people don't understand an industry. And it's like that with, like, film as well. But, like, I'll continue with, like, 3D printing, for example. A lot of the time when, like, people come and they're just like, hey, can you 3D print this thing? They don't realize how long things will take. The Aliens Pulse Rifle that I made, half the reason I managed to charge him that much was because I broke everything down. Just to be able to print the entire rifle in the sections, it took like 100+ hours just to print. And then, like, obviously, like, labor costs and, you know, paints and other bits and pieces. I broke everything down. And I find if I do that to people and just be like, hey, I'm charging you this much, this is why, because of this, this, and this, and this. This will take this much time, this will take this much time. And usually that's pretty good. But yeah, this person was just, like, messaged me directly on Facebook, can you do this? And I'm like, yes. Like, being an idiot and not, like, you know, breaking things down. But, you know, again, I didn't realize how much, like, work it would be, especially trying to fix the 3D model, so it was actually printable. But even, like, in film and stuff, like, I'm primarily, like, an editor in the film industry and stuff, and people are like, hey, can you edit this thing? Like, well, the best example is, oh, I just finished a horror short film as well. It's the final render's done, nice high-res stuff. That's going off to festivals now, so that's another one in the bank that hopefully should get my name out there and, you know, network some more shit soon. But I took that on in January. It's currently August, and I got paid $250, cunt. Like, it's basically just got paid nothing for my fucking time. And, like, granted, I was working on and off it, like, a lot of the time, you know, work on it, like, a day a week or whatever the fuck. But, man, when originally it's just like, hey, can you, like, recut this for me? I thought it might be, like, a month's, like, worth of work or a couple of weeks, and then, you know, lo and behold, it's fucking 7 months later. That turned out a lot longer than I fucking thought it would be. But yeah, people, you know, just don't understand how much work a lot of the stuff, these sorts of things go on. And, you know, they expect that you can do it for really, like, next to nothing. And it's just like, well, I mean, no, because, like, it takes me this fucking long. I can't, dude. And then they just go off to fucking India or some fucking shit. It's really fucking annoying. But, you know, that's industry you work in, and it's who you know, not what you know, basically. Man, I immediately went off the fucking rail and not talking about any of the topics that I fucking had. Oh, yeah, well, I suppose this is the same line. Oh yeah, being busy and shit. Yeah, so, and even saying no to projects. I've currently got a 45-minute psychosexual fucking thriller that I'm probably not going to enjoy editing, to be honest. Cause, yeah. I'm going to be editing that a couple of weeks from now, for a couple of months. And then I had a friend that I met on set, message me 2 days ago, saying, hey, I've got this film that I never actually finished because the editor was garbage, can you finish it? And I'm like, yeah, probably. And then I had a friend from Canada who works on Supergirl and a bunch of the other shows hit me up and just be like, hey, do you want to edit a short film? And I'm like, yeah, probably. But that one is more like up in the air, because it's a 9-minute short film, and I read the script and I'm like, it seems pretty funny and stuff. But the problem is it's in fucking Canada, and I'm in Australia. Like, they're either gonna have to physically send me a fucking hard drive with all the footage, or I'm gonna have to fucking sort out some goddamn way where I can download all the footage in a reasonable download rate. Because it's physically impossible for me to download it here at home, because, you know, 300 kilobyte download speed. And if it's a 9-minute short film, it's gonna be at least 100 gigabytes worth of footage. Like my, what was it? Well, even like this, the last film that I did, the horror one, that was 12 minutes, I think, in the end, including credits. And was 333 gigabytes worth of, like, footage with, like, everything else in it, too. And that's just physically impossible to fucking download here. So, you know, whether I try and, like, work out something to go back to uni and use their internet to download all the footage or some shit like that, I don't fucking know. So that one's more up in the air. But the other one, when my friend's like, hey, can you, like, edit this thing for me? And I'm like, yeah, probably. But yeah, most of the time now, I'm gonna try and say no, unless it's, like, actually, like, somewhat decent pay. But then again, it's kind of just like, you kind of have to do these sorts of projects to get your name out there at the same time. Just so you can fucking meet people that, you know, knows this person that works at this company that, you know, actually pays you human rates and stuff like that, dude. So it's definitely hard. With literally the two industries that I'm fucking working in at this point. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm stretching myself too far at this point. I guess we'll find out, because on top of that, I mean, I've also got to try and keep up this channel, because it's also my main fucking source of income, is making shit content for this goddamn channel. So, I don't know whether or not I'm gonna go fucking insane, or, you know, what. We'll fucking see. I don't know. But, along that same lines, with 3D printing and everything else, and going back to that and jumping all over the fucking place, you might have seen that apparently, being able to 3D print a gun is now legal in America. Which fucking, I mean, it doesn't blow my mind, but it's surprising, I think, at the same time. Because I don't know if you can, like, machine and make your own, like, gun in America. I'm sure there's some people that, like, you know, listen to me, because majority of my viewers are, like, in America. So let me know if you actually can, just, not including 3D printing, can you, like, machine and make your own gun? Like, I assume you can, like, buy a bunch of gun parts and, like, assemble a gun like that. But is it legal to be able to, like, you know, machine all the parts and, you know, make a firing pin and all that other sort of shit? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below if you can do that. But yeah, it's now officially legal that you can 3D print guns. Apparently starting from August 1st, which I'm recording this on April 4th, which would be 3rd in America. So it's illegal by now. I mean, in Australia, there was actually a case, I think I talked about it literally last week as well. There was a guy down the Sunshine Coast, which isn't too far from me, who got busted with 3D printed guns and weapons and knuckle dusters and that sort of shit. The main one that apparently sparked all of this was a gun called the Liberator. I've actually got a fucking article up for once instead of being so uninformed. Yeah, it's a 3D printed gun, so it might fire. It's only single bullet loading, so you fire one bullet, you have to load another bullet in. It's good for maybe like 4, maybe max, before it like completely shits the bed. Because it's fucking plastic, man. It's just a bunch of, like, 3D printed parts. The only thing in there is, I think it's got like a nail for the firing pin and everything else too that like sparks it. But yeah, it's gone through Congress, I think. Let me just quickly skim through this. No. A legal battle. So a dude's just like, oh, fuck you and my gun rights. I want to be able to 3D print my own gun. And of course it's in fucking Texas, isn't it? Jesus Christ. He claimed that forceful removal was an infringement on his free speech right. Oh! No, it was the guy who made the 3D model of the 3D printed gun that was trying to... Right. Okay, so yeah, I read that wrong. Basically, the guy who made the 3D model of the Liberator, which is like the most common 3D printed firing gun, apparently the government tried to take down the download of the STL file, and yeah, apparently he said that infringed on his free speech rights, and then fought the court, and then fucking won. Which isn't, again, I don't know if I'd say insane's the right word, but it's still kind of worrying at the same time. He claimed that the forced removal was an infringement on his free speech rights, while the government argued that he was violating federal export laws for military hardware. Yeah, since the STL file could be used to print guns outside of the US, because he just put it online. But then it's also like, because I actually talked to a police officer recently here, and I talked to them about my replica prop guns from films, and basically they said that it's totally legal for me to make replicas of these guns and ship them to people across Australia. That's fine. Over the seas is when you get into a bit of a problem. But even though they have, they don't have to have orange tape around them because, they're collector's items and everything. It's just, I can't apparently make machine gun and submachine gun replicas, which I'm like, whatever, okay, I don't fucking care. Because I was always concerned that what if someone bought one of them and then tried to play it off as a real one and took it out in public and then tried to rob someone or whatever the fuck? Would I get in trouble for that? Which apparently no, because it could be literally anything like that. Someone could buy a toy gun and do the same thing. The factory isn't going to be liable. It's going to be the person that used the thing. So no matter where they got it from, it's the person that used it in the wrong manner. It's their fault, and they're fully responsible for it, rather than the person who manufactured it. What else does this article say? Oh, so it might have been illegal before, too. It says the Trump administration reversed the Obama-era decision in June and settled the case against Wilson, giving him the chance to once again post his files. Wilson said he will publish the instructions for the Liberator on August 1st, as well as the STL files for 3D printed AR-15 semi-automatic assault rifles and 3D printed bump stocks that will allow AR rifles to fire faster. Fucking hell, man. Didn't they fucking ban bump stocks though? Because of the fucking, I'm not getting into that shit. I think there was talks of banning bump stocks. Fucking rip if he's just gonna be fuck you, I'm putting files, the 3D print one, and it's gonna be so much cheaper. Because a 3D printed bump stock, that's obviously gonna get more use than an actual gun. And I don't know how a 3D printed AR-15 is gonna fucking go if the Liberator, can last 2 or 3 single shots. I don't know how he's gonna get a rifle to fire faster, let alone more than one shot at a time. I mean, granted, also these aren't the first ones to obviously be posted online, and then there's the whole argument by talking about it, then you also bring more attention to it. But I mean, I talk about this shit anyway, and it's in, again, my sort of industry anyway, so of course I'm gonna fucking talk about this sort of shit. But there's also, like, the thing, like, I don't know where the fuck it came up, but basically the only part that's considered the gun part of a gun, apparently, is the actual, like, how do I describe it? I need to fucking do some more Googling, but I don't know what to Google. It's like the part that actually, you know... Fuck, how do I describe it? I don't know the particular name of the thing. Gun part classification? Is that what I need to search? No, that's definitely not what I wanted. But yeah, it's basically like the barrel, you can chop the barrel off, you can pull out the stock, you can pull out whatever the fuck. It's like a segment of it, where it's like the part where like the trigger's contained and where you load the magazine in, that's considered the part of the gun. And like in Australia, for example, I can legally buy stocks, I can buy barrels, and I can buy all of the parts of the gun, except of this one part that is considered the actual gun. And there's like 3D printed files for that part online. And it wouldn't be that hard to just, like, you know, use real gun parts and then just make that part, you know, 3D printed, and then pretty much fucking set. And even shit like that, if I get, like, an AR, I could pretty much just buy all the gun parts for an AR-15 and then print that part. And I've got a fucking signature school shooter fucking gun, man. Yeah, but there was also some people, because I put up the horror story on Friday, about the Australians that went camping, I think in America. It doesn't actually say, it just says, "We are Australia." And then people got confused because they're like, "There's no guns in Australia." Which there is, there's plenty of guns, but it's just... standard person can't own a gun for the sake of owning a gun. They need to have a good reason to actually own a gun. Like, owning a gun for self-protection isn't considered a good enough reason. You have to be also part of a gun club, that's, you know, with a gun range and everything. Because there's farmers and stuff like that obviously, like, you know, they need guns for pest control, with, like, you know, wolves and dingoes and that sort of stuff, and even, like, kangaroos. Like, I think there was a guy that commented, like, "Oh, yeah, fucking, this kangaroos are fucking pests here, and, you know, I can own a gun because I have a reason to, and I can shoot the bastards." And, you know, kangaroo leather, man. It's the strongest leather on earth. It's a fact. Yeah, so you can own a gun, but yeah, you just need a good reason to own one, an actual reason to own one, as well as, you know, go through all the permits and everything else. It's just, you can't go to a, like, as I said, you can't go to a grocery store here in Australia and just pick up a gun on your way. It's a little bit harder here. But there's still plenty of, like, gun stores here that you could go buy a gun from, and if you got the fucking permits, and, again, the reason to actually buy a gun. But I mean, yeah. I'm just gonna drink water. I'm not gonna get into fucking, you know, other shit that I have or other people gotten triggered. I don't know, I think I've been on pretty good water so far. Not trying to piss off the people. Yeah. I think that's about it for all of these gun talk, I guess, before I do fucking say something that triggers someone, I guess. The other thing that I've been looking into this week is taxes. Yay! What a fucking exciting thing that makes me want to fucking neck myself. This is a thing that I've been putting off for a fucking while. Mostly because I have no idea how the fuck they work, because no fucking cunt teaches you how taxes work. And, yeah. And it's even harder because, I'm self-employed. I get paid from YouTube, I get paid for prop work, I get paid for freelance film work. I just got all these streams of revenue, so I don't fucking work at a retail store or any of that other sort of shit. So, well, I mean, one, nothing goes into my super, which I don't even know if would Americans know what that is, but it's like your pension account. And also, like, tax isn't, like, taken out automatically, too. So I'm like, how the fuck do I do taxes? But even, like, I didn't know what the threshold would be. I didn't know, like, how to go about paying tax. Who do I pay it to? How do I pay it? All this fucking sort of shit. And I just got super lucky that some dude messaged me on LinkedIn. Because on my LinkedIn it says that I'm the owner of my business. I'm not going to fucking say it, for reasons. And he's like, hey, would you like a free tax consultation session so you can reduce your taxes for your business? And I'm like, fuck yeah, I do. But in reality, I'm just going to bombard him with questions and just be like, how do I tax, please? Help? So yeah, I had a phone call with him on Thursday. Just being like, hey, I'm 20 years old. I'm self-employed. I have these 2 or 3 streams worth of revenue. One comes from fucking America. And the other ones come from, like, other streams of flowing income where it's not stable. How do I tax? And he's explaining the one thing that really fucking helped was the fact that, well, I mean, there's obviously a threshold to actually be able to pay tax. But the main one was that, like, for an example, with my prop business and YouTube and everything too, when you buy things for the business to run stuff, or even like material costs for things, like originally when people just like, hey, make sure you keep all your receipts to claim your taxes, but also claim it because you can take that money away. Like, for example, on eBay, I make about $1,000 or so a month so far. I have been for the past couple of months. And so that's money, but then obviously I have to take away postage costs because I offer free postage. But then also, I then have to take away all of the material costs. So all the material costs of the 3D filament, the filler that I use, the paint that I use. I have to take all of that away as well, and then that leaves me with the profit. Which is good to know, because then I can also claim stuff like, I bought a new 3D printer this year. I can claim that. And so then that also takes like a big chunk out of the profit. And then stuff like my new graphics card that I paid $800 and something for, I can take that out of my profit. And so basically that my profit's going to be like, because I'm just like constantly spending money, my profit's going to be like way down, and so therefore I have to pay less taxes. But I'm still coming up on top because I still have all this fucking stuff. And eventually, like, hopefully, I really want to rent like a warehouse space. And so that way I can, build out my workshop, and then I can also set up like a little editing bay office in there too. So I can like kill 2 birds in one stone, while still, I could just put money back into the hole. And I'm still fine. Like I'm living with my parents still at this fucking point. And I'm probably gonna rent a warehouse space before I fucking actually rent a house space. But then again, like, the guy that I had my acrylic, Mr. Greencast plaque made for, he rents a warehouse space, and I'm like, oh, how much is this? And he's like, oh, it's like $2,000 a month or something like that, whatever the fuck it was. But he was even saying like, oh yeah, there's a guy that just sleeps and just lives in his warehouse space too, where he just fitted out an office and put a bed in there, and he just like lives there. And so, who knows, I might even end up doing that at one fucking stage, if I'm still like living with my parents. But I don't know. Then again, like, I'm immediately going off topic again. Some of like my favorite, like some of the peers that I look up to, like a couple like Australian comedians, that I know. Like Luke Kidgel, obviously. People of the podcast know him. And Lewis Spears, too. Like, I think Lewis is 24, 25, and he still lives with his parents. And Luke's around the same age, and he still lives with his parents, too. So it makes me feel a little bit better. And I think pretty much all of my friends from high school that I'm still in contact with on the regular, all of them but one person moved out of their parents. No, wait. All of them still live with their parents. One person moved out, and it's because he was a tradie and has fucking money, obviously. But then again, he's a tradie, so he has no time. So, yeah, that was the going back into like the taxes thing. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, this percentage and stuff, and like, basically to save myself, someone recommended me that I put 10% of literally everything that I make into a separate bank account. And so if they do come around, to just pay them from that bank account, you'll be fucking fine. And I've got like a good amount of money in that at this point. And like, it's money that I don't even consider that I earn at this point, because it's just in case. Because like, I'm like, oh, what's it, like a ballpark figure of like, what sort of tax, because I told him like what I sort of make from the different streams of revenue every month. And he's like, oh, it could literally be anything from $0 to $4,000. And I'm like, fucking hell, dude. Thanks for thanks for the help. But even like shit like, if I make $75,000 a year, then I have to then also pay 10% GST, which is like a whole other fucking thing too. And it's a whole fucking hole. And so I spent basically, like, not yesterday, but the day before, going through all of my PayPal purchases from the past 6 months, and just being like, I can mark that for material, I can mark that, I can mark that, and just making a folder of receipts. And also, but I mean, like, I'm a retard, I haven't been saving stuff from every time I go, like, to Bunnings to buy paints and everything. I've spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars on materials there that I can't claim now at this point. So you can bet your ass that I'll be saving my receipts, so I can bring that fucking profit down. It sounds bad when you say it out loud like that. It's just like, yes, I'm gonna spend more money, so I get less profit. But, I mean, again, like I said, I'm spending more money so that I can put my money in the hole so I can make more money. If you get what I mean. Like, I make more money. Like, I'm even considering buying a third 3D printer at this point. Because, like, even today, I sold 3 fucking guns. And each, well, I sold a Han Solo gun, I sold a Blade Runner gun, and then I sold a Jyn Erso gun. And then the Han Solo one takes 15 hours to print on 2 3D printers. Blade Runner, I think, takes 9 hours on 2 3D printers. And then I think Jyn takes, 6 or 7 hours on 2 3D printers. And then that basically means, like, what? Like, almost 2 days worth of just solid printing to get those guns back up at this point. So yeah, I'm just considering buying a third 3D printer so I can, make stuff more quickly so I can put it back on my store. Oh, fucking goddamn, dude. Yeah. I'm doing okay at the moment. Well, I suppose we'll get into the just most autistic part of this podcast, and that is, of course, right answer questions from a bunch of you cunts. So if you want to send any questions, topics, or life advice, or any other stories that you think I might find interesting, make sure you send them to me at mrgreentext@gmail.com. That's Mr. Greentext with an S on the end of that, because people forget the S for some fucking reason. I should really just make like a little fucking banner on the shit that just be like, this is my email, please do it. It's on my about page, dude. Fucking, if you're really that retarded and you can't remember it, just go on my about page. It's my business email. Just fucking send it to that. Or, if you don't want to do that, you can send me you can put a comment on the community tab post that will go up sometime next week. Or like 2 days before, like it usually ends up being before I record it. So, let's just get right into the questions. Alright, so this one is a fucking... One dude is asking like 3 questions, but I'll allow it. Mark M says, opinions on the Venom movie so far. So I've only seen the first trailer of Venom. I don't really want to see the rest because I just want to kind of be surprised by it at this point. I used to be that sort of guy that would watch, like I remember when I'm a big Batman fan, and I remember when what was it? I think Dark Knight Rises was coming out. I watched every single fucking trailer. I watched every single TV spot and everything. And I just don't want to do that anymore. I just want to be surprised by a movie. I want to see things for the first time. So usually I'll watch like the first trailer and then, you know, try and avoid the rest of them while I can. Like, I won't be one of those fuckheads that... Because I do know some people that, like, in the theater, they'll put headphones in and just look down on their phone during the trailers because they don't want to see any. Or they'll just fucking walk out when there's a trailer that they don't want to see comes on. Like, I won't go to that fucking extreme. It's just like, it's on, whatever. I'll fucking watch it. Because I'm not autistic. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't really have that many opinions of it at the moment. Because obviously I haven't seen it. But I don't really know how it's going to work. A Venom film. A Venom origin fucking film with no Spider-Man. Yeah. And then he also says, favorite dead meme? Favorite dead meme. Oh, that's easy. Shooting stars, because that one you actually had to put effort into. All those fucking After Effects rotoscoping and stuff. Easily. Stupidest conspiracy theories. Ooh. I mean, that's also a pretty easy one. The first one that immediately comes to mind is fucking Flat Earth. Like... Why? Do I have to explain why that's a stupid fucking theory? And even just, like, going off that, just like the moon landing faking theory. Like, it literally would have costed more to fake it in studio space than to actually just fucking go to the moon, cunt. But there's no wind in space! Go eat a bag of dicks, you fucking retard, and go put your tinfoil hat on. Also, he says, write the newest and weirdest green text on the air. That's not so much of a bad idea. I don't know if that also would like kill the point if I just wrote a green text and then read it. But writing it as I was going, that might be a video idea. I might steal that for later on. I might write that down. Give says, how many kindergartners could you take in a fight? Ooh, kindergartners. So how old are kindergartners? If you're in prep, you're in grade 5. Grade 5. No, you're 1 year old. Not in grade 5. So what? Kindergartners are 4? So taking a fight. I assume it's a fight to the death. I'd say at least 10. I mean, like, you fucking punch them once and they're fucking down. Like, I don't know, it sounds really, really fun and funny to me, just like, a kindergartner running up to you and he just, like, fucking soccer boot his fucking head. It's just like, yeah, what do you mean, it's a kindergartner? I'd say, quite easily, I could freaking handle 10 if they all, like, jumped on me at once, and I mean, all you gotta do is just, like, fall backwards, and just, when you land on top of them, you just squish them, and it's just like, they're down for the count, because they're fucking kindergartners, cunt. But, I don't know, I could probably even take more than that, because, yeah, I mean, yeah, you punch one and they're just down. It's not like I'm fighting a fucking lion. It's fucking, it would be a fair fight, dude. Chief Maggot asks, how many liters of piss and shit could you bathe in for $10,000? Bathing. Well, see, there's another part of this question that you forgot to ask, and that is for how long? So how many liters of piss and liquid shit could you bathe in? Well, isn't typically bathing just like, you know, been in a bath? So if I had a full bath of piss and liquid shit, how long would I bathe in it for $10,000? Well, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a thing that someone just has to throw a ballpark figure at me. Just because, like, I mean, I'd do like an hour, probably, of piss and liquid shit, because, you know, you'd probably get used to it at some point. I mean, it's $10,000, cunt. Brandon asks, are you planning on doing something similar to the Captain Drake story anytime soon? Perhaps with other green text YouTubers? So the thing with that sort of green text is there isn't really many of them, and it's when I find something that's like as perfect as that, sure. I haven't really encountered many more at this point. Like, that one had a lot of voice acting lines, which is just fucking perfect for collabs and shit. And I've had people hit me up just being like, hey, you want a collab? But I'm like, I've got nothing to fucking collab with you, dude. Unless I do, like, a guest narration or something like that. But then I'm scared people are just gonna be like, oh, this guy's so much better at narrating than you. And then, yeah, fucking... It's just like, if I find it and it's worthy of it, then sure. Like, there's probably some D&D stuff that I could probably do, but yeah, it's just you gotta find one that's, like, good. That one was just, like, perfect. Nick the Gamer Gaming asks, why won't people sub to me? Alright, boys, so let's go on a fucking trip. Let's have a look at your channel. So he's currently got 41 subscribers. Posting 5 months ago. How often do you post? 3 days, 1 week, 1 week, 3 weeks, 3 weeks. Okay. 1 month. What sort of content do you post, Nick the Gamer? Portal Let's Play. How old are you? He posts a lot of, like... the fuck is this? Balancing skills. He spelled balancing wrong. Just says balancing skills. That's just got a bottle on his head. And then he's... and then it just froze! Oh, wait.
Skills, bro.
Okay, and then it falls off. Telling my dog he's a good boy. Steam Summer Sale is stupid. So he gets like 5 to 8 views. He does a lot of really weird stuff. Alia is infected with Fortnite. Let's play Nightmares. Okay, so... people want to sub to you because your content's shit. That's fucking why, man. Honestly, don't fucking try and do goddamn Let's Plays at this point. Unless you have some sort of fucking niche where it could be appealing to people. Because, looking at you, I'm going to assume you're like maybe 15 or 16, maybe, like max. Like, no one's gonna watch like a 15 or 16-year-old dude, at this fucking point when there's, there's better people, obviously, that, are actually entertaining. Like, I assume you're still in school. Like, there's no way people are gonna find your content entertaining when there's people that, do it and do it better. The whole reason why my channel's successful is because, like, I saw people weren't doing green text narrations consistently. And, like, I make fucking 6 to 7 videos a fucking week, dude. YouTube fucking loves that shit. That's why my channel's successful. It's because YouTube loves consistency. You post, like, maybe once a week, just looking at your channel, maybe? Or even not. It's, like, you got 3 days, 1 week, 1 week, 3 weeks, 1 month. And then, like, 2 months ago. You're pretty inconsistent with your sort of stuff. But yeah, don't do gameplay videos unless you got some fucking cool niche or a reason for people to watch you, rather than just like you, because you don't have a personality. I'm not trying to be a cunt, but you're 15 or 16, you dude. You don't have a personality that people are gonna watch that people is gonna want to see. So yeah, that's why people would sub to you. Cullen64 says, is it a sin to love boy pussy? Yes. I think I've already had this sort of question before, but I've got a different answer for it, so whatever. Good old Cloaker Harriet Holwitzer says, alright Greentex, my next question is for the podcast is, what is something you really want to make, but you can't because of time or materials that you don't have to make it? This has to do with your props and all that. First thing that comes to mind is like some of the Assassin's Creed costumes. Like, Assassin's Creed is probably one of my favorite all-time game franchises. And fucking just some of those details, man. I can't sew for shit. I don't have the money or the time to put into, like, sewing all of that sort of stuff. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, a Shay Cormac costume from AC Rogue. Probably one of my favorite costumes, but, man, there's just so much fucking detail in there that I just can't be fucked doing. But, it would be nice, so that's probably the thing. The Irish Potato 14 asks, I listened to the podcast on Spotify, so I can't use the secret word. What do? Well, I mean, there's an easy fucking answer to this, dude. Watch it on Spotify and then come back to YouTube, give it an extra view, or, just immediately go down to the comments and just put in the secret word. I mean, yeah. End it all, ask, what goes first, the cereal or milk? If you say milk, you are heathen scum. Yes, you would be heathen fucking scum. I'm a human being, and I put my fucking cereal in the bowl first before milk. Mostly because you'd get splashback and stuff, dude, if you put, your cereal in after the milk. Plus, then, if you put the cereal after the milk, you have to kind of guesstimate, the amount of cereal you want to put in. And then you limit yourself. Because if you put the cereal in first, you can then fill it with milk, and then you can see, the milk level rise, and then you're good. Whereas if you put the milk in first, you're kind of just guesstimating, how much of, a ratio you sort of want. Because it's a lot harder to estimate like that when it would be compared to the other one, if you get what I mean. I'm not sciencey, but yeah, I think you kind of get the point. Holographic Hotline asks, something you hate most in the world. No obvious answer like war. Well, from this week, taxes are just absolute cancer. But, you also see, the point of them at the same time, just maintaining the country and all that sort of stuff. But it's so fucked how hard it is to try and learn shit about this, because you don't get fucking taught this shit in high school, and it's just a thing you have to fucking deal with. And I've had so much fuck around trying to figure out how this shit fucking works, dude. Because it's just society doesn't want me to be fucking self-employed. They want me to be a fuckhead that, works at goddamn, local grocery store, fucking Woolworths or Coles, making fucking wage and just paying fucking everyone else. And it's just, the resources to find out all this shit myself are just so much harder. And then even just, all the percentages are pretty fucked. And it's just cool, I made all this money. Oh, there goes a massive fucking percentage of my money. Cool. Miranda Mays asks, are you an ass or tits kind of guy? Am I an ass or a tits man? So, again, more to this question. I don't know. I don't know if I'd say, I prefer one over the other. I don't know. Because it's just, if I say, I prefer tits over ass, does then, where am I going with this? Okay, so, an example that I'll use is just, if I had to twist it between tits or ass, and then they have, milk duds, but they have a perfect ass, or they have, tig or bitties, and they have, the LFMAO'd too hard. Which one would I prefer over it? And I don't know. I honestly don't know. Because, I don't know, I think having an average ass, having no ass is more laughable than having small tits, I think. It's more funny. So, I don't know, do I prefer tits or do I prefer ass? Fucking is the end of the question, is the question at the end of the day. Damn, dude. I don't know, I'm just gonna say titties. There you go. Yeah. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna call it there for this week. I gotta work on some more fucking videos and stuff, for the rest of the day, pretty much. I got a couple other bigger stories I need to work on for Monday and next week. Because I'm going around a friend's house tomorrow, and I don't want to fucking deal with any of this shit, so I have to do it today. Secret phrase or words, I'm actually going to, this week, I'm going to open it up to you guys. Are you an ass or a tits person? Let me know down in the comments below, or, just use the word ass or tits, however you want. Yeah, let me know if you're you're an ass man, or you're a tits man. Let me fucking know, tits girl. I'm not fucking judging. If there's any lesbians out there, fucking good on ya. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, if you have any questions, stories, life advice, or anything, you can email me at mrgreentext@gmail.com if you want to remain somewhat more anonymous. And also, if you do email me, make sure you let me know in the first line whether you want to remain anonymous, because most of you retards email me and you have your real names attached to your email, and you probably don't want that read out. So make sure you specify if you do want to remain anonymous if you do email me, or you can just comment in the community tab that will go up sometime next week. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will catch you later, you fucking just absolute cunt.